Imagine waking up one morning and realizing the sun no longer shines. Not just for a moment, not just a cloudy day, but for over a year. A world plunged into permanent twilight. Crops wither, animals perish, children starve. The air itself feels cursed. No one understands why. But in the year 536 AD, this nightmare was real, and it marked the beginning of what scientists now call the darkest period in human history. From the Roman Empire to China, the year 536 was unlike any that came before. Ancient historians left behind chilling descriptions. The Byzantine scholar Procopius wrote that the sun gave forth its light without brightness, like the moon. In Ireland, the annals recorded a failure of bread, meaning famine. In Mesopotamia, crop yields dropped so dramatically that entire regions were abandoned. Even in distant Asia, the sky turned dim, the air turned cold, and the seasons ceased to make sense. The catastrophe was not short-lived. For 18 months, the sun remained obscured, but the consequences lasted longer. Historians now refer to it as the year without summer. Temperatures dropped by several degrees across the globe. Crops planted in spring failed by mid-season. In Scandinavia, entire settlements were buried in snow. In August, in Central America, droughts withered maize crops. People believed the gods were punishing them. But the truth was far more terrifying and invisible. It wasn't until the 21st century that science finally began to solve the mystery. Ice core samples from Greenland and Antarctica revealed massive spikes in sulfur, a sign of a colossal volcanic eruption. Tree rings from the same period showed almost no growth, indicating a severe drop in temperature. Today, experts believe a volcano, possibly in Iceland or North America, erupted with such force that it blasted ash high into the stratosphere, creating a veil that blocked sunlight from reaching Earth. This wasn't just a local disaster, it was global climate collapse. As the sky dimmed, the Earth starved. Entire regions fell into chaos. Trade routes collapsed. War broke out over dwindling resources. In Europe, famine killed thousands. In the Middle East, city populations dropped by nearly half. Parents buried their children. Kings watched their empires crumble. In Scandinavia, archaeologists found dozens of deserted villages, abandoned in haste, as if the people simply walked away, never to return. But the darkness was only the beginning. In 541 AD, just 5 years later, the weakened world faced a second blow, the plague of Justinian. Carried by fleas and rats, it spread along trade routes and decimated cities. Constantinople lost nearly 40% of its population in a single year. Some estimates claim up to 50 million people died, nearly half the known world. A historian wrote, "They died so quickly they could not bury their own dead." One disaster fed into the next. The volcanic winter made the people weak, and the plague finished them. Many scholars argue that the events of 536 through 550 triggered the collapse of the ancient world. The Eastern Roman Empire weakened beyond repair. In China, dynasties fractured. In Mesoamerica, kingdoms vanished. The foundations of old empires cracked, and in their place, the seeds of the medieval era began to grow. From the ashes of volcanic fire and plague, the world would be reshaped for centuries to come. Only recently have we begun to piece together how catastrophic 536 truly was. Without satellites, seismographs, or modern medicine, our ancestors could do nothing but endure. And yet, it happened again. In 1815, the eruption of Mount Tambora triggered a similar year without summer. It caused widespread famine in Europe and Asia. Today, a single supervolcanic eruption could cause global chaos, even nuclear winter. Our civilization may be advanced, but we are not invincible. 536 AD is often forgotten, It left no grand monuments, no kings to remember. But in the dark, cold silence of that year, millions suffered. It reminds us how fragile civilization truly is. A single shift in the earth can rewrite history, and if it happened once, it can happen again.